Greetings and salutations, fellow admirals. I am Admiral Andre and I welcome you back to Transport Fever. I'm very excited today to continue with our campaign adventures, so let's see what is in store for us next. We completed the Panama Canal mission, so I believe we must now move on to mission number 4 of the US campaign. Okay, I'll just click select and then we'll just listen as the gentleman here explains the situation.
Industry is booming around the Great Lakes. Food for the entire nation is produced in the areas surrounding Chicago, and the automobile industry is growing in Detroit. The automobile is opening up new possibilities for transportation. Trucks can deliver large quantities of goods to the most remote corners. The automobile is still the exclusive pleasure of the affluent, but it could soon become a mass-produced commodity and revolutionize the entire transport industry.
Excellent. So this is a very exciting time now. The last time we left off, it was about 1924, I believe. It should be because we had to bribe the president, I think, because we missed the deadline there a little bit. But now the automobile is really becoming a factor in transportation. Now, since we have been on the cusp of history so far, we are fortunate enough to be well positioned to get in on this action as well. Last time I managed to get 3 of the medals, so these 2 we really ought to aim for as well. So ensure that the first motor races can take place before 1925. So it takes place pretty much the same time as the Panama Canal mission. But again, this gives us the advice 1925. So that is very important because I missed that last time. So let's just jump right into this mission, and I'll just skip this loading screen again and then we can have a quick look at the map.
It is the year 1909, and there's not much to complain about here in the Midwest. There's a spirit of optimism. Completely new production methods are opening up new possibilities and business opportunities. A stake in the automobile industry. Now that would be an interesting investment. Our friend William Durant is planning something big, and we could get on board. We still lack the necessary capital, but in just a couple of years, we will also be profiting from the auto business.
So, like I said, this is taking place at the same time, more or less, as the Panama Canal mission, but there's nothing stopping our company from being in more than one place. So, there's a spirit of optimism here, and we are very interested in getting a stake in the automobile industry. Now, again, we have a very powerful friend, William Durant, here, and he is planning something big. Now, we already know what this is because we saw the medal asked us to get involved in the races, and since we're looking at Indianapolis, it can only be the Indy 500. So, we still lack the necessary capital, even though we have $10 million, but we can always make that grow. So let's now have a look at all the medals. The first one is the one that we looked at already, so 1925, so that gives us a nice 15 years, so not a lot of time again. Very much we have to focus on that. See to it you don't get caught by the police. That's a very interesting aspect to this game, and I did not get caught last time, but for some reason I didn't get the medal. Anyway, reach in success. Only those who have had at least 25 million in their own pockets once in their life are taken seriously in the automobile industry. So that is another goal of ours. That's why they say we need the necessary capital. Stroke of luck. It would be more hygienic for all involved if the pigs were slaughtered in a conventional manner. We'll have to keep that in mind. Large crowds. Make sure there are at least 25 people waiting at one stop at once to make a pilgrimage to the motor races. So we have to make sure it's quite popular and well serviced by our network. So let's press start and see what we must do first.
The automobile business is the market of the future. We should invest in it. But first, we're going to need a tidy sum of seed capital. This is easiest earned satisfying the most mundane of human needs, food and drink. The people are hungry for meat, and the transport of animals for slaughter is lucrative, so long as this bloody business doesn't give you the heebie-jeebies. Nowhere on earth is more meat prepared than in the Union stockyards of Chicago. The pigs enter at the front, and the cans exit at the back. A model example of rationality.
So, like with the Cheyenne farms in the very first campaign mission, we have to get involved in the food industry. But that's good. It was the same in Panama, I believe. Yes, it was, where we had to provide food for the workers there. So this is again still part of that inbuilt tutorial, I believe, where they just show you it's very important before you take on any other projects to just make sure you have some solid money makers before you find yourself in financial dire straits, which is of course something that I'm well aware of with my airplane free game there that I'm also doing on this channel, and certainly struggling financially. But anyway, so there's one of the farms. There is the, what did they call it? The Chicago Food Processing Plant. There we go. And there is another farm right there. So we have to hook these up first. Now let's just have a look. Last time I did this, I used trucks to take the food to the stockyard. But if the demand is good enough, look at that, 338. Chicago is a very big city. Same with Indianapolis, it's also over 300, whereas Detroit is in the 200, so it is the smallest of the three cities here. So it might actually be more lucrative to do a train connection. That is a very interesting prospect, I think. Also, we must make sure to collect at least 100 food from each of the, or 100 livestock from each of the farms, so we have to connect both. But why not? Let's make a train connection. So let's have a look first where the final goods must go, and that is of course the commercial areas of Chicago, so we have to reach them with a station. Now there's something that I heard. I don't know if it's true, and I'm a bit afraid of actually trying it out, but it might actually work. Somebody said somewhere on a video, but not my videos, I was watching some other Let's Plays, that you can actually deliver goods on a railroad to a passenger station, but you can't pick up goods obviously from there. If that is true, that means we only need one station for Chicago, because I'm not intending to pick up any goods from here. So I'm wondering if it would be worthwhile testing that theory. It's just a theory, but I have no idea if it would work. Maybe I should just not risk it and just stick to the freight stations. That's fine. I'm not going to put any catenaries on yet. I don't think electric trains will be a big factor for me at the very beginning. So let's just get everything lined up. We have to reach the commercial district, so that's actually a very good connection there. It pretty much covers the whole of the center of Chicago, and we only have to demolish 2 buildings. Of course, I'd rather not demolish anything, but I don't think it would be possible to avoid. And you see, if I put it just there, we actually cover that area. But if I just move it a little bit, we don't. So let's just do it there, and then build the rail line through this little gap. Maybe I can just maneuver it a bit. Something like that. Okay, going once, going twice. There we go. Yes, let me rather just stick with the freight stations. I think a passenger one should be separate anyway. So then obviously we will need a delivery point. Again, no catenaries yet. I will do that upgrade later. Then 2 tracks, definitely. And we just have to make sure that it's connected to the processing plant here. So something, no, that's a bit too much of a turn. So if I just move it a little bit. Okay, let's hope we can actually cross here. So this one will go onto the left hand side. It's a nice flat map, this one, so we won't have any problems with terrain issues. And no catenary, please. Thank you. I think that works. Approve. So then the other line here could just go straight to the second farm, and one of them anyway, perhaps the same one. Or it doesn't matter. Either one of these lines could then, let's take the same one. Go down to the other farm as well. Just get it to go at a nice decent speed here. 97 looks like the most. Then just get the station in place here. It can be a terminal station again with just one platform, please. Let's see, where's the track coming from? Oh yes, it's another thing that is worth mentioning. Destroying fields is actually very expensive. You see there the station is 91,000, but right next door it's 291. So rather leave the fields alone. Definitely not worth destroying them. I'll actually just build a little bit of a road here. Just the country road again. There we go. That should cover it. Definitely. Okay, no problems there. Then just connecting this line up. Again, lovely flat terrain. The Midwest is very forgiving in that aspect. Just have to make sure it's connected nicely. Okay, there we go. So just one left, and this one might be a bit more difficult because the farmlands are really covering everything here. Let's see if we can get away with it. So that would be a very difficult turn, and I'm not sure if it will reach there. This one might be asking for a field. Let's just take one of the fields. It is unfortunate, but it is pretty much unavoidable. Okay, got that one. Then just a nice connection meeting up here. So the delivery train won't have to wait for any other ones. I think that makes the most sense. Then the two farm tracks can share their platform. So nice to just build over these roads. No problems whatsoever. 105 is not the best speed, but luckily the distances involved are very short, so no issues. Lovely. Okay, so that didn't cost us too much money. It's now just an issue of getting the actual trains, which will cost a lot of money. And where would be the best place to do that? Probably here. So we can just have a switch that will take them to the other side, and then coming out here, just a nice curve. There we go. And of course the depot. And that's it. So just basic signals here, nothing much. I think one train on each line should be more than sufficient. So one just telling them to wait here, then another one. I think we won't really use this crossing other than buying trains, so it won't be necessary to, I think, put a signal on there. Just need a signal here to tell this this train to wait if the other one is in the station, and the same here. There we go. So they don't just stop in the middle of the track if someone is entering the platform there. Then just the tracks, or the lines basically. So we could even share one train between the two farms. That might actually be a good option in the beginning, to be honest. Let's actually do that since it's the same line. And then back there. So this will be the livestock delivery. And since we're dealing with a bloody business, let's make it a red color. And one more line for the meat delivery to Chicago, and we can later on make another line to Indianapolis. So this one will be meat delivery. This one can be yellow, I guess, because we are dealing with cans, but I don't know, it can be any color really. So that covers nicely, and I think we are set. We are ready to go. So let's see what we have available. We anyway don't have electric trains yet, so getting the catenaries was a bit early, so I'm glad I removed them. The Atlantic might be a good option, 100 kilometers an hour. Definitely not for the food delivery, just for the pickup of the livestock. Let's just see, 40 years is a nice lifespan. The costs are quite heavy, but I think the speed will be necessary, so let's get that one. And then a couple of these livestock cars. So how many can we have? It's 160 meters on the platform again, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Money is such a problem. How many are that now? 84. 84 should be enough just to get us started. So set line livestock delivery. And there we go. Let's just have it roll out there. Very nice. So just make the color also red. Such a nice feature that we can paint it once it leaves the depot, just to experiment with different colors. So red is a very appropriate color for this. It will lead many cattle to their doom, I'm afraid. Then we will need another one for the food delivery, but we can wait for the first cattle delivery as well. So there's another thing. We shouldn't just limit ourselves. They did ask us to make a lot of money on this mission, so we have to pay attention. This is not like the Panama one where they asked us to spend a lot of money, but even there I failed, so that should bode well for this one. And I think this is where they don't tell you. This is where in the campaign progression you must now, again, like with Panama, use your own imagination and find other options for making money. And obviously a passenger connection between Indianapolis and Chicago is a winner. So we have to do that, definitely, as soon as possible actually. So I'll just put one station, again another dead end one, just with one platform. Let's just see, one, no catenary, that should be fine. We can make this a longer platform as well, because I'm expecting a lot of traffic on this line. So where we put this is not really an issue, because we anyway will have to use buses and just to reach the bulk of the town. It's such a big city actually. So let's actually put it right there. Maybe can I just turn it a little bit like that? So as the train comes into the station, the people will get a nice view of Lake Michigan, I think this is. Just a nice road connection now. Is there any way I can get away with not demolishing any houses? Probably not. So then I'll just prefer to demolish one. No, just one please. Unfortunately it wants to... ah, there we go. Nice, so unfortunate but necessary. So I'll just continue this so they can build out in that direction. Excellent. So I think also this calls for a nice bus station. Definitely not one of those old just stops. It needs to be a very nice flashy one. So let's actually take the large bus station. I've never used this one before, to be honest, so it's a good opportunity, I think. Oh, that's fine. If they must walk a little bit, it doesn't matter, just as long as it's reasonably within range. Can I rotate it maybe a little bit? That unfortunately messes it up a little. There we go, that's good enough. So they just have to walk around this corner here. That's nothing much. And that will also allow us to pick up and drop off a lot of passengers, because I think that's exactly what will happen. Now for the normal bus stops that will go throughout the city. Let's see, so we are coming out here. Now I'm thinking again, is it better to stop where the passengers last? Because I would like them to again have a nice easy access to the station. Let me just make this connection. It's tempting me. There we go. Or should we just proceed throughout the town? I don't know. I think it would actually be better to just go from here to the industrial and commercial areas. So let's do that first. Just one there. Let's see, one back there. It's such a big city and I just want to have as many access points as possible. Okay, that should cover all of it there. Then we come through here now to most of the residential areas. Which way should we go? It should be that way. Then let's stop there. Then we just zip around here. And they can walk to that one. That should do. So let's just set this line up as nicely as possible. So we start there. Then this one, there, there. Coming through here now, through the residential places. And that one. There we go. I think that should do nicely. As the town grows, or the city grows, we can certainly expand that. City bus. There we go. So my thinking with this whole thing of stopping first at the commercial and industrial areas is when the passengers are coming from Indianapolis and they are dropped off here. Surely the ones from Indianapolis don't want to go to the residential areas. They don't live here. So we should drop them off first, and then as we come back, pick up people from Chicago and drop them off at the station. Of course, if they want to continue on to the industrial and commercial areas, they can just stay on the bus. So it doesn't really matter. Then we just have to do the same on this side, but there's no station here yet. So it's another one of those situations where we have quite a big setup, you know, but it is worth it because this is what will really unlock our success. So let me just put another, this is passengers, yep. I don't know, this one is not really ideal. And there again, it would have been so brilliant if we could drop off goods at a passenger station. So you know what, I'm going to try it as an experiment. I'm just going to, I don't know if it's true what I heard. It probably is not, but that doesn't matter. Then we'll just put the passenger station here in the middle of the city. But if we can drop off goods here as well, then that will anyway serve the commercial area very well. So we'll see if it's true. Then I just have to curve this now. For this one we need speed. Speed is the key. So 120 is necessary. But things are so wonderfully flat here. It's really so easy to do. Then we need to cross that line. But now... oh well, we'll just cross it. I'm just thinking, should I complicate things with bridges and tunnels now? But that is probably not a great idea. Okay, we can't do that directly. So just like that. Still 120. There we go. So that's at least connected and we can start making big bucks with the passengers. So the same thing here. I would have liked to have a nice... bus station here. Is it still possible perhaps? 1 million for that building. That's not really worth it. So no, for this one we won't do that. We'll just do it the normal way. So we pick them up there. Then I'm going to avoid this area again at first. Maybe it's not the most logical way to build, but I'll give it a go anyway. Then we turn around and we stop through the center of the city here. Okay, that is very close to the stop there, so let's move down the road a bit. Now what? Okay, we come back through here. That is not very sensible. No, so I'll just have to go first down there. And I think these do cover that. They do. Okay, that's fine. So that should do it. Let's just have a look. So we start obviously at the station and now we go down this way. So in this case it's not so nice. So we'll see which plan is better. Going first through the residential areas or first through the commercial industrial ones. It's a good test. It probably won't make a difference because the buses will be so crowded anyway. Down there. Okay, now this is not so nice. This is not so nice. Then it goes down here and it twists around. No. Okay, so remove these last stops after Springfield. Okay, so Springfield is the last one. Then it comes down there, there, and there. And there. There we go. Now it's just one big loop. So that should connect them all. Yep, they do. So just make this Indianapolis again. There we go. And just the depots again. Like I said, this is a bit of a setup, so I'll just let it run on the normal speed. I don't want to lose time because we are on a deadline again. Where are the industrial areas? So maybe somewhere on the outskirts of town. So let's get some onto this line. We only have the Mac buses, but that's okay. So let's get about 10 of them.
The money is slipping
Okay.
through our fingers, people. We'll soon be bankrupt.
Hope to avoid that.
Prepared to grovel on our hands and
Indianapolis City Bus. So at least the buses can start making money so long. And you can see now my thinking was a little muddled here because I've been playing the free game, so I'm used to just going down here and taking out more loans. But of course in this case we have to get it from our creditors through the sort of scenario. But in this case they never said that we shouldn't take on more debt, so it's fine. We can just accept that. Somewhere here, and we should be able to afford 10 more, almost 10. Okay, so sorry about that. And set line for Chicago City Bus. And finally I'm thinking, is it going to be wiser to just get the passenger service up first? You know, it might be, so let's do that actually. Before we get the food delivery. Definitely we have to go for speed here, so 100. Then which ones can go 100? Okay, it must be the 6 axles. They're heavy, but maybe they're too heavy. But the clear story passenger cars can only do 80 kilometers an hour, so it won't be very sensible. Now he's gonna complain again.
Good gracious, we're spending money like there's no tomorrow. Just this once, our financial backers are willing to turn a blind eye and help us out once again. But this is definitely the last time.
Well, you know what they say, you have to make money. No, you have to have money and spend it to make money. So there we go. Chicago to Indianapolis. There we go. Done. So that is a guaranteed money maker. Absolutely. I just think we have to do something more flashy with this train. So what would be a good color for the line to Indianapolis? No idea actually. Sort of a yellow? It could work, but I'm not a big fan of that with this one. No, definitely not that one. Like that, just sort of an orange, that looks better. Of course at first there will be no money from that line, but it won't be a long wait. Okay, so the first 2 livestock are now being delivered to their doom. And then I think it might actually have been better to just use trucks to deliver the food to Chicago, but it's settled, so we'll just have to buy a train. But it won't need many wagons because it's such a short distance. We'll be in the red for a little while, but it's not a problem. You see, now this train is actually waiting because that one has to cross there. So I forgot about this, and now we don't have money for the... Oh well. Thank you. They didn't say we're not allowed. Didn't have money for the signal. So this one, I actually want to place the signal a bit further back. Let's say somewhere there. The same on this side. The reason for that is I want the passengers to get preference. That means as soon as they cross any of those signals, the other one will shut down, which I'll put right before the crossing. There we go. That should take care of that. And since we have a bit of money, shall we spend it maybe? Maybe. Probably a good idea. So we can use the cheapest Baldwin class for this one. And this will be just food delivery, so maybe just 2 of these cars, I think. Or maybe, how many is that? 24 food. No, that will be fine. Meat delivery. There we go. So that's taken care of. Because it will go back and forth so quickly, it doesn't need to carry much or be very fast. Being cheap is better. So what color can this train be? This one might just be a bright yellow because the line is yellow. That's a very cheerful color for such a sordid business, but anyway. This one is flashing down the tracks here at well, not 100 yet, but it's building up speed. That shows you that the wagons are a little bit too heavy for this Atlantic. Given that the track is so flat and has 120 limit the whole way, it still hasn't reached its full speed, but that's okay. And we actually have people waiting already because it automatically covers a large residential area. I don't know about this color. It's not very fitting for such a high profile line. Let's take a royal blue. That's certainly much better. You know, we have to look at our marketing side, and the people don't want to take a train that doesn't look very attractive. And the passengers are streaming in as I expected, so with a city like this you can certainly expect it. And I was looking through the achievements actually in Steam for this game, and there's a couple actually that give you some hints as to when you can actually call a town a city or a metropolis. Of course it's already a city, but that doesn't matter. There's an achievement for getting a city, I think above 750 population, and then it's a city. So under that it's a town. Above 1,500 population, it's classified as a metropolis, because then you get the metropolis achievement. So that's just something interesting to note. Just put a signal on there. Already a large number of people waiting. This will be a super money maker. You can bet that it will be. 2 such big cities, definitely. Now you people need to start.
End of the line. It's no use begging and pleading. Our financiers are refusing to put even one more penny into our project. Damn it.
Well, we don't need their money anymore. So we got that achievement about the 25 people waiting to go to the races, because they classify if you want to go to Indianapolis, you want to go to the races. And we certainly have more than 25 waiting, so it doesn't matter. But as I was saying, these farms now need to seriously step up their production, because we have regular pickups now of 84. So, and there's a huge demand in Chicago for 300 and something food, so come on. Let's have a look. What's the frequency right now? 10 minutes. That's not bad at all. For this little food delivery one, it's 129 seconds. So that shows you how short the distance is. Ah, there's my buzzer going off. Well, I guess it's time to stop the episode. You know, I'm having so much fun, but I'm trying very hard now to keep the episodes around 30 minutes, just because I know a lot of people don't have time to sit for 40 or an hour. even though I like to go for that long, but anyway. So, see you in the next episode. I hope you've enjoyed, and have a fantastic day as always.